You do not need to learn how to read music in order to be able to play music, unless you do. So there's a paradox here, and let me explain. So if you're just getting started and you want to play music for fun, you want to learn to play an instrument, you want to learn by rote, you want to learn to play by ear, you even want to learn music theory, you can understand how chords get put together with scales to form melodies, songs, etc. You can do all that stuff without learning how to read music. And you can have a lot of fun playing music without learning how to read music. You can play in a band, you can play shows, you can do all those things. But reading music is a very, very valuable tool. And if you want to play music long term, and if you really want to be able to play lots of different kinds of music and learn music quickly to play with other people, reading music is a very, very valuable tool, and it is especially valuable if you want to become a professional musician. Now, I hear all the time, well, what about like Paul McCartney didn't know how to read music, and Jimi Hendrix didn't know how to read music? Yeah, fair, they didn't. But you know what? You might not be Paul McCartney. So with all due respect, if you think you might not be a musical genius, it might not be a bad idea to throw an extra tool in the toolbox. Now here's the paradox. It is easiest to learn how to read music if you start early, go slow, and do little by little. So you have to decide whether you want to read music, or if you're a parent looking for lessons for your kids, whether or not you want them to learn how to read music before you know whether they're actually going to really need it. It is much, much harder to learn to read music later if you become a very accomplished musician and then have to learn to read music after the fact. To get back to Paul McCartney, there were interviews in which he talked about trying to learn how to read, and it was very, very difficult for him because he already had a very sort of unique and idiosyncratic way of understanding music that was working for him. So it's a tricky thing because you definitely don't need it, but you might need it later. So I don't know, why not throw an extra tool in the toolbox?